Hey everybody. I had a dream last night. Well, several dreams I just kind of need to catch up on them, I guess. And it was odd. My phone, like, guess it wants to stay on this side this time. Okay. Anyways, so the first dream was I entitled this dreams about my masculine, and it's not necessarily overtly about it, but I do feel like my masculine self, or even my external divine masculine, that we are moving closer toward a union. So, the dream, the first set of dreams, because I keep getting these dreams right before my alarm goes off, and they're kind of powerful dreams. So the first set of dreams, in the first one, my dad and my brother-in-law lives, they were at my house. And my brother-in-law had been doing some cleaning, and he ended up picking up my tool cabinet, which is rather large and big. I mean, it's like 6 feet long, 6 feet tall. I mean, it's not small, and it's got a lot of junk in it. But anyways, that's not the point. The thing is, it's heavy. Well, he told me, well, I just been picking this up every day, and then I clean underneath it. He says this day I moved it, and I put it over here because we need to get prepared because they're coming. And then he looked really haunted, like behind me. His eyes suddenly got big, and he's pointing with a shaky finger. It's right there. So I'm okay. Then I see my dad, and he comes over because my brother-in-law had put my tools in a new place, so I would be able to do what I needed to protect the family, I guess. Now my dad came over, and he also has a really haunted look on his face. And I don't remember specifically what he told me. I really should have recorded this stream when I had it. But both of them were warning me that they were coming. There was something about like an invasion, or there was ghosts or something like that. But something was coming. So in the next dream, I am with Layla and some girls from her youth group. I think there's like 6 of us, and then there's like one other adult. Or 6 of them, I'm sorry. Me and one other adult. And we're walking around in a mall that has been converted to like a hospital sort of thing. But it was taken over by these beings that were putting everybody into like a robot, or kind of catatonic state where they're still conscious and still doing things, but they're following orders. They don't have any sentient thoughts now. It's like they're plugged into something. And zombie, maybe, kind of. So we're looking around. We're just like, this is weird, because we're the only ones that aren't affected by this. So what we do is we start singing this song, just to see if anybody is going to pay any attention to us. And we sing this song, and all I can remember is this one part was where we're doing the dance moves and singing in the middle of the storm, I'm holding on, I am. And nobody's paying any attention to us. So we're like, huh. But then we just keep singing this and singing this. We're walking down the middle of this mall. So this is like a double-story mall where there's places up on the top area, that you could see up to those stores, and whatever. So, we end up getting to the greeting desk, and there's a nurse there that's registering everybody, getting everybody to do these different things, and nobody, again, seems to see us. So we're just watching what's going on, and the nurse she goes into the little cubicle area right behind her, and she's like, "Oh, okay, Mr. So and so, you're free to go from your isolation. Now you can go and join the others. You're like converted now or something like that. Everything is in place." So that was that set of dreams. Now I'm forgetting what happened last night. But I woke up. Oh, yes, I remember what it was. So now, in this dream, Casper, Layla, and a couple other people and I were fighting something, and we're, like a rebellion faction or whatever. And I guess this is like my group of rebels or something like that. But we're fighting for people's rights or something like that. So it's like a very dystopian sort of thing where everything is really dark, war going on. Um, Anyways, we're at our last stand. We're about to give up. We feel like we've just got no more hope. There's nothing left to fight for. I mean, there's plenty left to fight for, but we don't have any more strength or any more supplies, or we're just cornered or whatever it is, but we're at our last stand. And we're kind of looking at each other, giving each other that look of, well, if we go down, we're going down in a blaze of glory, and we're going to do as much damage as we can, but we also knew that our lives were forfeit. So I was kind of like, we're praying to God that only through God's intervention will we be saved. And we had a bag of large roasting marshmallows. And I don't know what Casper's original thing with it was, because he said, and this is what it confuses me. He says, well, we can't use these anymore, so we may as well just throw them away. So he opens them up and dumps them on the ground. Or he says we need to call in reinforcements, so he opens them up and dumps them on the ground. I mean, either way, it kind of really comes to the same thing. If either you had an idea of something, but you just happen to have the right thing in hand at the time to get the reinforcements that you need. And so it may have been both of them. So he throws them down, and along comes like 3 or 4 cats, 3 or 4 seagulls, and 3 or 4 crows. There wasn't very many. And so at this point, we're just like, so this is what we get for reinforcements. It's funny that we would even consider them as reinforcements. But we said, okay, well, this is what we got. We'll just do the best with what we can. And then we hear this noise, and from the horizon, there's a whole herd of cats. These are domestic cats, by the way, not big lions or something. These are just domestic kitties. Whole herd of these kitties come running toward us. From the left side comes a whole flock of seagulls. And then from the right side ends up coming a whole group of crows. I'm looking around and I'm amazed, and they're all eating these marshmallows, and I feel bad suddenly because there's not enough marshmallows for this huge army that has joined us. But as I'm looking at the crows landing, I'm like, yes, now this is a murder of crows. Now it's like, let's get to this or whatever. That they don't know, but at the same time, there's magically enough for them. And they're like waiting for me to tell them something, and I think I do tell them something. And then Layla is texting me, because now she's like in this little back in this command center sort of thing, and I'm still out there in the field. And she says, "Has he arrived yet?" I was like, "No, he hasn't arrived." This goes on several times. So I'm like, "Finally, he hasn't arrived. I don't